Welcome back again, everybody. Orange Track Outlaws here. Today we are going to tackle another Three Blind Mice Invitational. This one is the November edition for the Aston Martin 177 casting. Pretty cool looking car here. Don't have much of a plan when I got into this as far as what I was going to do with it, but basically I had a paint job in mind and a wheel swap in mind. And that's really about it. Really not sure what else I need to do with this thing. I'm not sure we're going to play with that interior or whatnot. Probably not going to do a whole lot fancy with this. I'm going to check the paints out I have on the bench there and see if there's something I haven't used for a while or something new. And try to give this guy a pretty cool new look. But yeah, that's pretty much all we got going on for this guy. Should be fairly short and sweet here. That's kind of the plan. But let's just get right into her. So here we have our project car, the Aston Martin 177. Pretty cool casting here. Kind of like the paint job that it's already got on it. Really, the blue looks pretty sweet. Really, this thing could just use a wheel swap, in my opinion, and be good to go. But we're going to give it a new paint job since I already got enough blue and it looks like this, and make it a little more unique. So first off, we're going to drill the post out like usual. We're going to try to zip those little heads off there and get that little ring off the post. And this thing will be ready to pop right off as soon as we can make that happen. Get our little screwdriver in there and pry it off nice and easy so it don't break nothing. And this one does only have the one post, does make it a little easier since the grill kind of locks it in the front. So we'll get this bad boy apart. And pretty simple here, plastic base. The wheels aren't too bad, but we're gonna put some new wheels in there. The interior is pretty basic. Might detail that, we'll see. Windshield's pretty new. That thing looks pretty good in our body. Pretty good shape here. We'll have to see what it looks like under that paint after we get it out of the sandblaster. So here's our casting, fresh from the sandblaster. We've got a little blasting residue on there, so we're gonna hit that with the wire wheel. Get that thing nice and cleaned off and see what we have to work with here. One of the ideas here was going to be Spectra Flame, depending on how the body looks. But as I was checking my paints out, I haven't used some splash paints in a while, and I have a couple colors I think might be pretty cool. So we're going to take a look and see after we're done wire wheeling this thing what our body looks like. If it's in too rough a shape or it's going to need too much priming, I think we're just going to go ahead with some splash paint colors. And I think it'll be pretty cool. I think I can make it look pretty good. Yeah, you can take a look here. Our body, it does have a little bit of pitting there, and I don't know if that's going to look good under some Spectra Flame. So I think we're going with the splash paint route. So first thing we're going to do is put some sealer on here. I'm going to go with a lighter color, so I'm going to go with some sealer white. So the lighter color, the mid-cut doesn't look too dark. So basically we're going to thin this out with a little 4012. I'm going to drop the PSI down to high 20s, about 30 or so, and try to get this thing on here. Nice and light coat to start. Get a good base build up, and then we can start layering it on and try to cover some of them pits up. So not too bad here. First coat went on pretty good. Luckily I didn't have any problems spraying. I didn't have any dry tip, which is one of the bigger problems I've been having with this Autoborn sealer, is getting that dry tip to calm down. It's just been kind of a pain, but lately I've had better luck with it when I've gone with some lower PSIs and got a good thin mixing ratio on it. So keep that in mind when you're mixing the Autoborn sealers. It does tend to help. I know the dry tip's really a pain in the butt here, but if you get it mixed right and get the PSI right, it does seem to work pretty good. If you do have some spots you want to cover up, however, you are going to have to layer that stuff on pretty good, and it does level itself out. So if you want to go ahead and lay that on thick over some of the pitting and whatnot, it'll fill it in and seal it up. But you do have to make some layers out of it. But anyway, I'm working on third coat here and laying the third coat on. heavier than the others. I'm going to try and get it nice and smooth, and I think it's going to work out fine for what I'm looking for here. So I think we're going to start spraying some color, and this is from Splash Paints. This is called Celeste. It's kind of like a slate sky blue, like a grayish blue. I thought it was a pretty cool color. I thought this would work perfect for this. I'm going to make this a little bit of a two-tone. I'm going to put some black on here to accent it a little bit later. But this Splash Paints, really nice paint actually. It's right out of the bottle, no mixing, sprays on nice. Don't have any problems with the gun and anything like that. And you know, a little bit of paint thinner to clean it up. It does work out pretty good. So I'm really happy with. I haven't used Splash a lot, but I have used it a little bit, and what I have used seems the results have been really nice. So look at this car here. It's looking like kind of like a light bluish, kind of light grayish. And when we get a little farther into some more coats, the color will really start to come out here. I think it's looking pretty good. I think this will look like a pretty cool car when I get finished with it. So I think this is probably going to be about the last of the coats here for this color. I'm going to lay it on pretty good here, and if all looks good when we're done, I think we'll call this we'll call our base coat here done. And I think it looks pretty good just as it is, but I think it needs just a little bit of accent on there. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to put a little accent on there, but I have a little bit extra paint in my gun here, so I'm going to go ahead and spray it on here and try to get rid of it. Try to richen this color up just a little bit more. It didn't necessarily need it, but since I had a little bit extra paint, we'll put it on there. See if we can get it just to richen up just a little bit more. And it seems to be working out. But honestly, that last coat, it may not have been necessary, but that's okay. So like I said, we're going to do some black accents here. So I got this thing taped off. So what we're going to do is we're going to take some blacks from Splash Paints also. It's called Black Mica. And on the top there, it kind of looks like some wavy racing stripes and whatnot. We're going to make those black, and it's kind of following the lines of the casting. Those lines are already there, so I figured it would kind of look good to make that part black and try to fit the body lines of the car. Excuse me. And on the sides, on the door panels, we're going to try to do a little bit of a fade, kind of heavy black towards the front, and we're going to fade it back towards the rear a little bit down those casting lines on the door. So not sure how this is going to turn out. It may look a little goofy. I'm hoping not. I'm hoping it looks pretty good, but I want it to be heavy to the front and lighter to the back. So you know, I'm going to try to get it in there real close and make it real heavy black in the front. I'm going to turn the car like a 45 or better angle and try to lightly mist and spread that black back on the door as best I can. I don't want to cover it up too much. I want there to be a little bit of that Celeste blue near the back of the door. So I'm just going to go light with it, and then I guess stop when it looks good to me. So we're about ready for final assembly here. I did a wheel swap with some black rim wheels. I thought would look good with our blue and black body colors. I really didn't do anything else to it. I just some of the interior, I did a little highlights, a little black on the seats and the interior, a little bit on the center console. And here's a look at our casting all finished up with our 2K clear. We detailed some headlights, some tail lights. I think this thing actually turned out pretty good. I like it. It looks fast to me. I think it fits the car. I think our fade on the doors actually worked out pretty good. So we're going to get this bad boy put back together. Basic straightforward assembly here. I did drill out the posts prior to painting. I do that off camera. Everybody's seen everybody drill posts out. Pretty boring. I don't tap mine much anymore. I like to use the self-tapping screws. It seems to work out a lot easier, just skipping that step. So that's what I like to do. Luckily this one only had one, so this will go together pretty easy. Chassis here, you can see the bottom of it. I didn't really detail anything out there. There really wasn't, like, you know, chrome parts there I didn't feel needed to be done. Mufflers, exhaust, I thought it was pretty good. All black. I'm kind of going with that black theme there with the black tires and the black stripes. So that's kind of where we're at. So before we get the final reveal, this is what we started with. The blue Aston Martin 177. Like I said in the beginning, pretty cool car as it is. I like the blue color there. I think this car would look real sweet with just a wheel swap. I think some nice chrome rims on this paint scheme would look really cool. But we went a different route, and we went ahead and did a complete paint job and wheel swap. And this is what our final outcome looked like: Celeste blue from Splash Paints, and then we made some black mica accents from Splash Paint. We did a wheel swap there with some black rims. These were not real riders. I didn't have any in the black rims, but I do have a good amount of these. These pretty cool looking, these black rims. So I thought these pretty much fit the car. I like the black on black look there on the tires with the stripes. I think it matches real well. I would like to thank you guys for watching another one of my videos, and thanks to the Three Blind Mice for putting on another invitational, and pretty excited to see what everybody else comes up with. And take a look at some of my other customs. I got a lot more going. I got a lot more coming to do. I got a lot of races going on, so if you're into that racing thing, check those out. And I will see you guys on the next build. Thanks again.